to actually make some gains in the policy debate about Obamacare. That was on the table before Ted Cruz came on.
Why is the federal government spending money to erect barricades to keep veterans out of this memorial?
Let's see, I'm not sure, but I think it's because of you, right?
Enough games.
It takes a lot of cojones to lead a protest against yourself.
Senator Ted Cruz.
Senator Cruz held a secret meeting at a Washington bar and restaurant, Tortilla Coast,
Get that cone out of my face!
with roughly 20 of the most conservative members of the House.
I just hope the solution to this problem ultimately is known as the Tortilla Coast Accords. A lot of wheeling and dealing, a lot of secret meetings.
We missed the opportunity. 2 months of time went by.
Do you hate Obamacare more than you love your country?
And to me, yeah, that's an embarrassment.
Listen to the way you're sounding, my goodness.
Oh, my Lord, I am sorry, America.
We are indeed sorry. Let's get to our panel. Joining us now is Eugene Robinson of The Washington Post, Professor James Peterson, who is Director of Africana Studies at Lehigh University, and here with me in New York is Jonathan Alter, who's an MSNBC political analyst. Gene, if I might begin with you, here's what you wrote in The Washington Post. It is understandable that the activist Republican base might think victory through blackmail is the natural order of things. It's not. It's a distortion of American democracy that weakens the nation, and it has to end. But, Gene, I have to ask you, with all your consummate understanding, is it about to end? Because I cannot see it ending yet.
I have no idea, Martin, at this point. That was yesterday. Today,
Of course.
we're beyond that to this sort of blind, enraged lashing out. We'll cut the earnings of our staff and make sure they can, they have to pay for all their insurance and can't get the subsidies anybody else gets. And we'll handcuff the president and the secretary of the Treasury so they can't manage the money. So we've become more likely to default. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and I fear that we're in John McCain territory. He always says, it always gets darkest before it goes completely black.
Yes, it sadly does. John, Ted Cruz reportedly skipped the GOP luncheon today, but that's okay. Last night, as we heard, he organised a group of Tea Party House members to meet at a Mexican restaurant in Washington. The purpose, of course, was to plot ways of keeping the government closed. Right. Now, it seems this coup d'etat con queso is succeeding, isn't it? I mean, he's keeping it closed. He's winning.
For this moment, he looks a little bit like a younger version of Joe McCarthy, if Joe McCarthy was transported back to the pre-Civil War era, or the Civil War, because there are these Confederate flags around him, of
yes.
course. Look, nobody knows the way this is going to go in the next few days. There are a lot of moving parts, but I do get the sense that the Republican radicals, or the banana Republicans, as I think Harry Reid appropriately calls them, since they act as if we're in a banana republic, sure. I think they've lost, and that these are the death throes of their little insurrection, their little effort to put a gun to the head, not just of the country, but of the global economy. It's failed. Even Mitch McConnell, hardly a friend of the administration, is working hard now to bring this to a close, and I think by the end of the week he will have succeeded.
Let's hope so. Professor, Ted Cruz's protest this weekend led to some pretty ugly displays aimed personally at the president, and now Democrats are speaking up. I'd like you to take a listen.
Ted Cruz and Mike Lee led a rally on the National Mall where one of their speakers called on President Obama to leave town, put down the Quran, and come out with your hands up.
But I was especially disturbed by the waving of the Confederate flag, a symbol of racial oppression being waved at our first African-American president. I call on my colleagues to condemn this hateful rhetoric, renounce these fringe voices within their coalition.
Professor Peterson, they're calling on Republicans to condemn these manifestations of bigotry, but will they?
Absolutely not. In fact, what they should be calling specifically for Ted Cruz and Sarah Palin to denounce the other speakers at the rally. By the way, in this country, it would actually be absolutely okay if the president was Muslim and if he did worship and read the Quran. We live in a country where freedom of religion is absolutely a right. So that it would be okay if that were the case. That would not be grounds to disqualify him as president of the United States. But he just so happens to not be Muslim. But the second person is right there that the Confederate flag is even more sinister, or at least as sinister as those accusations of the president being a Muslim. And I think people need to understand what that symbol means to millions of Americans, millions of African Americans, and millions of Americans, period. But the irony of that whole rally, though, Martin, is that they are accusing the president of using the veterans as political tools as they're using veterans as political tools.
It is incredible.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Confederate flag. I mean, in recent years, we've looked at it as a symbol of racism, which it is. But it's also a symbol of treason, right? Insurrection, sedition.
Sedition.
So those who wave it, although they might not realize it, are in historical terms they're taking part in an act of sedition that is not just disloyal. The South seceding was not disloyal. They were trying to destroy the United States. That's what that flag actually symbolizes. And it's actually quite appropriate when you think about what they're doing this
Yes, absolutely. It's accurate. Eugene, what was your reaction to that whole scene?
Well, I grew up in South Carolina in the late 50s, early 60s when the Confederate flag was flown in earnest more often. It was flown over the South Carolina State House until just a few years ago at the state capitol. So I have no patience with that. It's not a symbol of rebellion in general. It's a very specific symbol that represents slavery, that represents insurrection, that is aimed at our first black president, and it was appalling. But it was also, there were other appalling things happening around it at that rally. I mean, it was a ridiculous event, and you'd laugh at it if it didn't make you so angry.
Thank you, Gene and Professor Peterson and John Alter, all of you, for being so polite and decorous about the matter. These people are repugnant, ignorant, imbecilic individuals, and they bring shame upon the nation.